And he said, "Morning." I don't even know.
But hey, that's why I'm the technical director. So it's.
Listen, you're pretty good. I mean, usually my son, my 12-year-old son, helped me with these things. I'm like a dinosaur. Like I'm horrible.
How I said, like you had a John Brzenk moment.
Yes. I don't know. Maybe I think John is better than me still. I'm terrible.
I still want John to do all the videos in vertical, but post them in landscape. I think those were awesome. Remember the first ones that he posted? He took them like this and posted like this.
Yeah. It was all new for him, but it's smart though. He'll learn quick, I think.
Yeah.
It's gotta get used to. Everything's technology these days, and everything's so this way.
So you're taking your lunch break right now. How much time do we have?
What time is it? 12:10 or something?
It's like 20 minutes past 12 for you. It's 7.
We can have like 20 minutes.
Okay. Well, maybe more. So I will just skip ahead. So we're live. Everyone, if you have questions, post them in super chats. I'll answer them later because I have a lot of questions for Marcio Barboza. So that's Marcio, good. Introduce with yourself, like who you are, how old you are, what you do.
Oh my God, the guys got to stop with this thing with the age. You see those white things over here. Yeah, Marcio Barboza, born Brazilian, now half American, 49 years old, been to the sport probably 30 years. Yeah, long time. Now I started at 17, so 32 years since I started. Internationally, like 26, 27 years. So I've been in the game for a long, long time. I've been WAF champion 5 times. A lot of silver and bronze also at WAF. And been in the States for the last 20 years. Been living in America, living the American dream.
That's great. Did your arm wrestling journey start in Brazil?
Yes, I started, like I said, in 17. I got a friend who invited me to watch you competing. He was competing in a state tournament, and he took second, and then he was trying to see how strong I was, and he couldn't beat me. So it's like, you should do that. Like, and I started doing it, little by little, and I got hooked very, very quick.
So when I think about Brazil and arm wrestling, I have 3 names that pop in my mind, maybe 4, but you're one of those, and it's of course Gabi and Wagner and the crazy lady, the most popular female.
Oh,
Chris Souza.
Yeah, Chris Souza. Yeah.
So how, like, I think you're one of those gifted arm wrestlers, but how long was the road before you got medals internationally? How long was the road? Was it straight ahead or?
My first tournament, I was already. I started in Brazil. I was very young. I never competed novice or anything. I started just to give you a little background. I started a junior competition. I was 17. I think I took 5th place, and I'm not sure. I think it was 165 pounds. And when I started, and then the following, I think then I went to a national. Like, I didn't go to any. I probably took 6th place or something. Then I started training like more serious. My first year training, the following year, and I won states. I won every tournament. And then I took second in nationals. And then after that, it was first place until I moved to United States. I never lost again, basically, in Brazil. And my first WAF, in 1994, I came to international event. It was considered like an amateur event in California. They used to have they call World Amateurs because I thought it was like an amateur and everything. I went to get experience and I won. It was not a hard tournament, but it was like 7, 8 countries. Mostly Americans, Canadians, some people from Europe. Like a small, you know, international tournament. I won both times. It was Bruce Wade from Over the Top used to do that tournament. And then because 1995, it was gonna be Brazil was gonna host WAF Worlds, and I also came like a few months before to Yukon Jack. Just I got sponsored there just to see how good, like just to prepare well for Worlds. And I didn't do so bad, but it was hard with John Brazing, Johnny Walker, and a lot of all of those guys. I was very young, 187 pounds I was. I think I got a couple wins, but that was it. And then my first WAF, and in my first year internationally, it was I took first lefty and third right-handed at 85 kilos.
It was like 3 years later after you started, pretty much, yeah?
Yeah. My first international, people already knew my name because I was very explosive, and I don't know, people noticed me very quick.
So, for me, you're one of my favorite arm wrestlers. I enjoy every match you ever have because you go with full heart, technical, strong, fast. I think you can, whatever you can say about any arm wrestler, you kind of fit almost all those boxes. But people kind of forget about you all the time. You are the most underrated, in my opinion, arm wrestler who is extremely active. Like when the COVID kind of died off, you've been pulling tournament after tournament. That's what I see.
That's true. I've been pulling like mostly local tournaments. I mean, Kentucky. I pulled some good guys. Pavilo, Chris Chandler, I think Aiello. I pull a few good people. Wayne Wieners, some good guys. I didn't stop. I kept training.
But why do you think? Why do people forget about you? Because all these conversations come up, and it's very rarely when someone talks to Marcio Barboza.
I don't know. I think it's a new era where people get more recognized. Like if you're a lot on social media. I have a YouTube, but I cannot be super active. I'm a very very busy guy. My normal day it's crazy. I if you spend a week with me, you'll see how busy I am. I work a lot. I spend time with my kids, my family. I help in community. You know, I find time to train. I practice with people, and I work out in the gym. It's you know like I have to make time for all that. But I maybe because a lot of people are, like I said, it's more on social media, and whoever spends more time in that seems to have more recognition. Even though I'm like an old timer, people who know arm wrestling, the arm wrestlers, they know a lot about me. But the new people to the sport, they don't have a lot of information about it. Maybe we didn't have all this exposure like we have today, I believe.
I think there's some truth to that. Also think if you're watching now, you don't know who I'm speaking to, just Google, just Google, open up any match. One of my all-time favorites, you and Krasimir 2018 or 19. That was just amazing match in WL. And there's so many more. Even now, when you went to East versus West, like won both matches, right arm match is one of the most technical matches I have ever seen. That was just like spectacular, like great arm wrestling from both of you. How do you feel about that event, your performance? And because you kind of want to win easy, but you showed us so much, and especially to some fans, they're like, oh my god, this guy's awesome, because it was awesome.
Well, I try to prepare very well as much as I could. I've been busy with work, but I dedicate time to train. I knew I was preparing for Ongobia, a different arm wrestler, but I know since it got changed to Tobias, he's a very promising, very talented guy.
I lost the sound. Lost the sound.
It was somebody calling me, but I turned it off. So Tobias, it was very talented guy. I didn't have information about him. I watched the videos that I could because the change was like maybe 2 weeks in advance, or I think it was 2 weeks before, or 3 weeks. I don't remember, but it was very. I didn't have much time. But very great top roller, but he's very versatile. He's very tough, and he's young, 24, 25, but he's been training for I think 10 years, and he was uh, he was surprising me a little bit the way he changed his style. Like then I have to adjust it. And it was very interesting match. I mean, I had COVID. I had COVID before. I didn't want to cancel. I think Inga mentioned over there. I think you were there. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna go regardless. Like I'm gonna. I did a antigen test
yeah.
because I didn't want to risk the PCR. I might maybe I wouldn't be able to travel. So by the day of competitions was exactly 13 days. So if you think it's not enough time, but I didn't feel so bad. I felt like bad just for a couple of days, and I stopped training. The first time that I had was beginning of the year when I was supposed to go to East versus West 2, and I had to cancel because I that time I felt like fever, all this stuff was a little bit bad. This time wasn't so bad, but I didn't want to cancel, so I did the best that I could, and I was just hoping to perform well. The day of competition, I block everything negative and just focus on you know on my opponent. That's pretty much it, and it worked out, pretty good.
Oh, you were awesome, and one of the best performances of the night, and you took that W for Team West. So I think it.
Yeah,
Uh,
two of them.
yeah, hey, if you would lose, John would trade you for Matt Mass. So you never know. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
John wouldn't trade for Matt Mask. Uh, so you said you dedicate some time, even you're very busy with the family and work, for training. And how has your training evolved since way back when you started and now? What would be the biggest differences?
Well, I used to train like this guy Irakli, for example. He reminds me of myself when I was younger. I used to do so much crazy weights. Like I used to practice a lot, and I used to train like just basically the way they do, like crazy amount of weight, and and I can't do it anymore. Of course, I gotta train smart weight. And when I used to just, I used to be an instructor at the gym, like a personal trainer. When I have that type of job back in Brazil, I have more time to dedicate to training. You know, I can split my training in 2 times a day, and I always practice at least once a week. As soon as I came to the United States, it was a little bit different because I knew I would have to do like a physical work. Especially, I didn't speak English, so I had to learn the language first. But I still do physical work though. I just got a better position. I'm a foreman. I'm in charge of big projects. I install fences. Mostly I do commercial, industrial, like everything in steel. But I also do. I have a lot of people know what I do, so I do residential too on the side to make money on the side. You got a big family. You gotta work. Unfortunately, our messaging doesn't pay as much as we all want. So
Yeah.
I have to kind of balance everything. So it's not a complete dedication. I could be much better, of course. I agree with that. If I only have to train much, much better, my level would be, competing for top five, I believe. But I just have to manage, you know,
Yeah.
all my time.
Yeah.
Not easy though. You have to have a will
So
to
do
make it
you,
work.
do you do table time now, or because I know a lot of arm wrestlers, when you've been arm wrestling for 30 years, you know how to arm wrestle. So all you need to do is just be strong. So
Yeah.
or are you doing more, weights and less table, or
Well, right now I like to have more time. Like I've been scheduled for competition after competition. So let's say between East versus West to King of the Table now, it was only a month between one to the other, and I was like, I'm not even gonna be able to do much. Like I have to rest, take care of my my arms, do some therapy, do some light training, and I just do what I gotta do, right? And then I prefer if I have more time to prepare. I like to include practice, but because it's only 1 month, the tendons, my tendon especially in my case, takes a little while to recover. And I felt some, little pain here and there, a little soreness, and I won't risk doing practice because the time is very short. I don't have, but I like to include practice once a week. It's what I like, and you know, specifics or whatever I do, like 3 or 4 other times with the weights in the gym, and one time at the arm wrestling practice at the table. But right now, I can't do it just because the time is not enough for
You just
recovery.
you just need to be fresh. You just want to feel fresh. Yeah.
Yes,
You
feel
there's no
fresh.
time to train something. It's all about being fresh, because it's always better to be fresher and healthier than feel really strong but tired and injured. You know?
Yeah. At this age, like you have to be smart. You have to use experience. Basically, it's what I use in my matches over there, East versus West. I use experience. I kind of feel the guys, feel the lane that I can go, and I switch it, a little bit, forcing, certain positions, certain angles where I can be successful. So it's gonna be the same thing. Irakli coming up, it's a very good opponent. Like I have to be smart about it, and he's a vicious top roller. He goes for position first, and I gotta have a good plan A, you know, to beat him. It's
So
gonna be hard.
clearly, when you took that match, you know you can beat him. What would be the some of the strategies for you, your strengths versus his strengths, or how do you feel about this match? Because Irakli has been really hot. He's been again, social media kind of exploded for him, and he wants to be one of the top guys. Like he really is ready to go there. And with Todd kind of got him inside, and it's so hard to deal with Todd's side pressure when you have never experienced it. Even when you have experienced it, it's you like feel trapped. But I felt like Irakli, technically, like you said, he goes for position, but he went for wrong position versus Todd. You cannot stay there. So how do you see your match? Do you see it something similar where you're gonna try to expose what Sasho did, what Todd did, or
Yeah, I mean, I don't pull like Todd or Sasho, so I use a lot of my hand. Also, I need my hand and wrist, and it's hard to see. Like you have to have the first grab and see how strong he is, just to be able to. Sometimes it takes that first match for you to figure it out, because I can only watch him and see him. He's very connected, his back pressure with the bicep, with the back pressure, his left muscle, everything works fine this way. And he goes for position and it's very good once he has, that little bit of advantage, and he takes his time. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like he gets maybe out of gas a little bit. Like I don't know his endurance. He seems to be very strong on the start, but I don't know if he's very, his endurance is as good as his strength. But I'm gonna try to match what he does, and if I make any longer match, like if I don't get out of position, I think I'm good. So maybe it's gonna take me that first match just to feel, you know, um, just to feel where I can go.
and it's also six rounds, not best of five.
Hmm.
So, and I think Irakli has been struggling a little bit with that endurance in some positions, especially with. So most likely you're going to use your experience, but like how comfortable you are if he takes your hand. Can you still, or it better,
It depends how much it takes my hand. If you're probably gonna be in a strap, I'm gonna be more tight to my body, so I can use my body strength also. I can use my lat strength, even if it takes. I can, you know, use my lat strength. It depends. Like, you know, I think I'm not planning on having my hand take it, but if it happens, I'll find a way to fight. You know,
Hmm. I'm
it's not
I'm
over.
I'm super excited for that match. I can't wait to be there in Dubai, and
I
I
don't know.
think
I don't know how strong is his pronator. Maybe it might take a little bit compromise, but I can get my pronator. I mean, it's a lot of things to think about it. You always have to. I have to feel like something first because you can only imagine, right?
yeah,
Possibilities of
yeah,
that, but until you feel it, it's just speculation.
yeah.
I
Everyone
think
thinks.
it's very strong. Though.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
If you,
It's hard to predict. I think you have way more options, plus that experience and everything else, and so I'm super excited for that match. You guys gonna for sure. If if Devon Levin doesn't deliver, you guys gonna deliver. Few more things, and then I'm gonna let you normally eat and go back to work. But give me that. Like, why do you love arm wrestling? What's the thing that you because you cannot get out 30 years in? You're just like they keep pulling me back.
listen, I tried to retire like 10 years. It's not gonna believe that I tried to retire 10 years ago. When I first got hurt, like when I have the operation on my bicep on the right hand, I'm like, that's it, right? It's like I stopped for a couple of years, 2010 or 11, I think it was. It's a long time pulling at this level. So I got hurt and I had to have surgery. Then after that, I'm like, I think I'm done. But it's hard to get out. It's hard. I love so much, and especially because it depends on you. I think I love arm wrestling because it's you against you first. Like how bad you want something. Like you have to work for it. Like it depends on you. Like I like team sports, but I like more individual because it depends on you, and it's something that I found like a talent that I have, and God gave me that talent, and as soon as I started doing this sport, and I feel like that's why the Phenom came because the first year I already reached a super high level back in Brazil. I was probably 75 kilos, and I beat guys. After 1 year that I was pulling, I beat guys up to 120 kilos, and I was 75. And I started. I was young and skinny, didn't do much, and my workout was only doing pull-up bars, you know, tennis balls, and practicing. I used to practice a lot when I started, like 3 times a week or 4 times. When you're young, you do everything, climbing ropes. It was weird, cutting trees.
Yeah.
I do weird stuff, and I never went to the. It took me a while to go to the gym, but like I said, arm wrestling it just got into my veins, my blood, and it's such a good feeling when you win, right? It's, and it depends on you. You know, it's on you.
The winning feeling, it's something different. And you in arm wrestling, you can go to practice and you can have that winning feeling, and then you can have the terrible feeling of losing, which makes you kind of want it even more. You know,
Uh huh.
it's the cycle. And of course, when you are good at it, like you are, and I, without doubt, I think you're one of the most talented arm wrestlers to ever walk the earth. And yeah, you have to love it for that, for sure.
I'm
So
49. I don't know how long I can do this.
look
It's
at
hard because, yeah. Then you see John doing again. I'm like, man, they have no excuse.
that's such an like the man's pure inspiration. Like
Yeah.
you look at his arm wrestling career, what he has done, the giants that he has killed, and then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna come out of retirement. And at this point, he's like, I'm getting bored a little bit.
Yeah. No, he was my biggest inspiration. Um, since I started, I heard his name. I have magazines from. They used to do some AAA Federation, he association, American Association. They used to do like magazines, and I saw him, and I saw him in the movie and stuff, and I was always fascinated, you know. one of my dreams was to one day pull him, not even beat him, but give him like a hard match, so he would know about me. And that's how when I came, and the first time I pull him, then I stopped him a little bit. I'm like, I think I can beat him in a couple of years. And I stopped him on the right. We had a good match. We pulled a 220 at some holiday in Ohio. I think Harley Pool. England Terry was still living here when I came. So, and I had a good match with him. Then everybody opened their eyes. I was like, next time I pull him, maybe I'll beat him. And then I beat him once. The next time I pull him right-handed, England Thursday was there. He saw it, and everybody opened their eyes. Like I beat him in strap, a flash pin, and then we started having this, you know, start being a little bit rivals and stuff. With him, with Rombat, those guys that I wanted to pull and to be, either win or have a good matches was John Brasink, Rombat. Um, those are my favorites back then because you see them dominating so much, everywhere, not just United States. And they're like any international competition, they will succeed very good.
Still are. Imagine that, and still are.
Ron is like 6 years old. Unbelievable.
So everyone in the chat, if you have questions, please leave a super chat. I have one more thing and then we go to your questions. So give me your thoughts or predictions on how you see the biggest match of all time, which is Levin versus Devin.
Yeah, it's so like if you don't think about it, you just say it, it's Levin, right? Like there's no brainer. Like Levin is favorite. Levin is number one in the world for a reason. I believe he has the strongest fundamental strength in the sport. Like nobody has this, hand strength, wrist strength, arm strength is questionable, but the way he arm wrestle, it's so perfectly good for him. The way that his style, he has such a dominant hand, wrist, and he's so strong overall. He's built like a gorilla or a bear or something. He's a freaking animal. And I mean, it might be one of the strongest or best super heavyweights in history. Maybe the strongest one, ever. But of course, Devin always brings something different to the table. My logical thinking is like Levin's gonna win, but of course, you hope for somehow some match, round two, round three, Devin makes that little stop and everything could switch. Devin is favorite to win, no doubt. I'm just hoping Devin can stop that match at some point and then go to deep waters. I think everything could switch because everybody that has so much strength, everybody that is too strong, beat everybody so easy. Once somebody make them work, they will need more. They usually need more time to recover. 2 minutes not enough. They need more oxygen, so they'll get tired quicker. As big as like all you can notice, like everybody that is very very strong, they get out first. They get out quicker.
Yeah, that is the problem.
So if you think about I think Levin is almost like a gap stronger than Devin. If Devin's gonna be able to make him, referees grip 5 minutes or something could switch. I don't see any other way. If you just grab an arm wrestle, Levin wins, in my opinion, 6-0. If there's any fight or whatever, 5 minutes gripping stuff, everything could change. Could definitely change. I don't know how it's gonna be, the refereeing, how this is gonna be managed. So I can't wait to see it. Levin is favorite, I would say that. I would like Devin to stop that match and make it a war.
Yeah, I can't wait for the match too, because I don't know what to expect. And I would love to be surprised, because everyone's like, like you said, logical, but let's have some fun.
Yeah, who knows? And maybe Levin win a match easier, and then he decide to let Devin go. And then I don't think he's gonna do that because this match is important for him too. He's a smart guy. But if it somehow the match stops, it could switch though.
Yeah, I'm super
Of
excited.
course, if Levon wins, it's the most normal thing to happen. But if Devon wins, then it's everything's gonna change. Like it's a whole different scenario, right?
Agreed. Everything will change. Everything will change. Because yeah, if Lemon wins, nothing really will change at that point. Some fans will, will be disappointed. And some will say, "Well, we knew," and the others will say, "Well, we thought we knew." But yeah, I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Just like 18 days, 18 days till that. Um, I have
Anything can happen.
anything can happen. Yeah. Kevin
Yeah,
Tomke,
never.
Kevin Tomke is writing, I'm a huge Barboza fan. Is there a year he thinks he was in his best year, or does he think his best form is yet to come? So, do you, in your opinion, what was your peak, and or you think you can still?
I don't know. It's so hard for me to answer those questions because there's a year like 2003. It was not my best year in the first half of the year, but I was only 215 pounds. But I beat Brazil, Travis Bajan. I beat Travis 3 weeks before he beat Voivoda, 2003, and I also beat Brazil 2 times that year on the right-handed. Maybe, but it depends. Not every time I was training to be the best. I was sometimes you're just good. I don't even know. Like I think I got lucky. Like I'm normally strong, like a normal stronger person. So if I dedicate more time, it'll be better. If not, I will still won't be away. I'm still gonna be competitive, even if I don't train much. But I don't know. It's hard for me to because I'm older. How it makes no sense, right, for me to say my better years. I don't even know. It doesn't make sense. I'm still pulling good, right? But I have a lot of aches. I have a lot of elbows. I have a lot of things. Trust me, a lot of type of things. Like I experiment. I have like experience in feeling everything, you know. But
Yeah.
hard for me to say.
Yeah, I think for you just looking back, it's for me it's fascinating. One thing is like the motivation that you have to still keep going. Of course, it comes with that. I'm really good at what I do, but there's still the motivation. You don't want to be the number two guy. You always want to be number one guy. It's
Mhm.
do you still have that? I most
I
likely,
love.
but
Yeah. I'm sorry. One of the things that I like the most, I like my kids to still see their dad, kicking butt. My kids are my small ones. I have a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old. They're doing sports. They're doing martial arts. They just turned black belt in Taekwondo, and they like arm wrestling. I brought them to one competition last year. They did well. They won. They have good genetics, you know, and it's nice for to have them watching me, like cheering, like they think their dad is a hero or something. So it's nice to see them, their face, you know,
that's
that I'm
awesome.
and I still play with them. I still, yeah, I'm not a regular 49. Let's put it that way.
Clearly you're not, and I think that's what else can we want in life, and I think you pretty much achieved that. And man, I wish you all the success. I will see you super soon in Dubai. Finish your meal. Don't overwork too much. And thank you for joining me today, and everyone who tuned in. Yeah.
It was my pleasure, of course. We
Yeah,
always try. We have to do it like this, doing work or whatever.
yeah,
How many
well,
hours you are ahead over there in Latvia?
it's close to 8 p.m.
So it's like
Yeah,
7 hours or something.
7 hour difference. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not that bad. I have done
No,
worse.
it's like Turkey. Yeah, Dubai now is gonna be 8 hours ahead.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's like there.
Yeah. For me, and it's so weird because me in Dubai is just 1 hour shift because it's just
Uh,
lower. It doesn't. move in different directions. So it's pretty nice, but it's still for you. I get a lot of sleep, adjust to the super hot weather there, and yeah,
Yeah,
excited for that match.
I
Excited.
heard it's good.
Okay,
All
thank you,
right.
Marcio. Thanks everyone who joined in, and